I have to admit that the outstanding music performance almost made me to forget everything. So, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. This quote has guided me through my life and planted a root in my heart, in my mind, and it has taught me to be responsible and accountable for my actions, whether it's at university, at work, or at home. And most importantly, how to use natural resources that God has given us, such as water. Everybody seems to be passionate about oil, and probably you could say, why don't you talk about oil? Well, water is as important as oil. We could survive without oil, but we'll definitely die of dehydration. You don't want to drink oil, yes? Of course you don't. So protect the water, people. I believe ownership could solve most of the problems of water shortage that we have. It's to feel that you own the water, to feel that every single drop of the water is your own property. And when something feels your own property, you want to use it wisely, yes? You just don't want to easily lose it. And this water that we have, it's not only our water. It's our kids, our great-grandsons, it's our next generation's water. It's my daughter's water, although I'm not married to have a daughter. Okay, so if we do not take responsibility and ownership of the water, we may not have as fresh water to drink. We probably have to tell our kids that once upon a time there has been places where people used to go and swim, and it was called swimming pool. And then the kids will back up and say, wow, really? Of course. We have all seen our moms, our sisters washing the entire neighborhood. Believe me, even when it's raining sometimes. I'm serious. We probably laugh, but why it's not a big issue? I can think of very little issues that are more important than water. Otherwise, water is our life, it's our dignity, it's our future, people. Did you know that we have only 1% of the global water that's available for human use? And 63% of that is consumed, unfortunately, in bathrooms and toilets. Did you know that one cotton-off t-shirt that I'm wearing has 25 baths full of water? We are so lucky to live in a region that has a fresh water, while 1.8 million people drink contaminated water. And 800 to 900 children every day die, very sadly, due to diarrheal disease. And you know, one of the main causes of diarrheal disease is not having a fresh water, yes? Even, we are part of a region that's called Middle East. We are known for our natural resources. But despite being 5% of the population, we only have 1% of the global water. That's already a shortage. And 85% of that goes to farming and agriculture. Perhaps we don't utilize the latest technology for farming. And if you thought that these were scary facts, let me tell you about some of the most crucial and real threats that we all together need to tackle today. We are all here with one goal, and that is all together to rehabilitate and develop Kurdistan. But we need more water to ensure that we sustain our progress and development. And it's believed that 14 out of 33 countries that most likely to be water stressed are in our region. To put this into more perspective, the dark red sections that you see on the map show the countries that are most affected by 2040, including Iraq and our own region, Kurdistan. So, are we going to do something about this? To bring this home, Euphrates and Tigris, which in Arabic and Kurdish we call them Dijla or Furat, are the main sources of water in Iraq. But these two rivers are losing water more than any other place on this planet. Any other place except India. And I will leave you for a second to think about that. Did you know that the war between Iran and Iraq that took 8 years and killed more than 1 million people was largely over water? And it's believed that the water will be a key in putting Middle East countries in state failures for the future. We may even not thinking or considering how water could affect our political and economical survivability, while Turkey and Iran are building several projects and investing billions of dollars in dams, in projects to protect their future and their resources. I'm sure you've all seen from the news that Iran has built several projects on Sirwan River. Sirwan River is one of the main big rivers in Kurdistan. And people in some areas already have seen the drought. So we need to ask ourselves, what does this mean to Kurdistan and our future? How we can survive? How we can survive when we have more than 20,000 of wells? And this is only for the known wells. Imagine how many illegal ones we must have. To give you an example, the government 10 years ago had to dig down for underground water 100 meters. Now it tripled to 300. And that's a clear sign of water shortage in our country and region. We have more than 3,000 rivers in Kurdistan. And almost 1,000 of them, which is about 20 to 25%, are completely dried out. And that's only up to 2012. I'm sure these numbers have increased now. This is the photo at the top is Alwan River that used to flow under the bridge, and now it's completely, it's dried out now. So, this is the path that we are going in Kurdistan. And imagine what happens when the whole world faces 40% of water shortage by 2030. According to Swedish global statistics, a person living in Kohistan quarter, which is one of the quarters in the city, Erbil, is using 800 liters of water, while a person living in Sweden is using 120 liters of water. So think about the difference, people. 800 liters with 120 liters. I believe, and I think, the first step that needs to be taken is by all of us, the government, media, civil societies, private companies. But how? Well, the media could have a big role in raising the public awareness. Our teachers at school could teach our children to take responsibility and ownership of the water and future. Even we are in a society that religion plays a big part. So our imams and mosques could be given courses about water management. And then the government must formulate a national water policy to ensure that everybody has access to fresh water and at the same time minimizing the wastage of water. But how can this be done? Well, it's easy. Now, the usage of IT and Internet of Things and smart solutions can save us a lot of hassle. For example, smart water solution. So what is smart water solution? Well, basically, the government will be able to monitor the water wastage in every household very accurately. And that's to make sure that everybody is taking responsibility and ownership of the usage and pay for it. So we also need to think about the payment solution. Okay. We probably cannot change the whole world, but we can change our own world and make our own impact. These are some everyday tips that we all can do. For example, we could water our yard at the morning or at the evening when there is less evaporation. We could use toilets that has less flushing. And the most important one is to remember to turn off the tap while we are soaping our hand or brushing our teeth. Imagine if adults in the UK could remember to turn off the tap while they were brushing their teeth, UK could save each day 180 megaliters of water. And that's enough to supply 500,000 houses and fill 180 Olympic swimming pools. That's a lot. And I want to end this by quoting from the Prophet of Islam when he said, "Do not waste water even if you were at a running stream." And thank you.